Hey, good morning, everybody. We will start today's practice in a comfortable seated position, whatever that is for you. Maybe sitting on the couch, maybe back against the couch, maybe sitting on the floor. If you are maybe sitting on a prop, right? Particularly if you have tight hips like I do. I'm sitting on a block, but you could also sit on a blanket or a couch cushion. So coming into our comfortable seated position, whatever that is for you. And your back is straight, spine is long, maybe gently closing your eyes, taking a soft gaze, or staring at a point in front of you that does not move. And we begin our practice by taking deep inhales through the nose and deep exhales through the nose. Relax your forehead, relax your jaw. Separate your teeth, relax your shoulders. Your hands could be comfortably in your lap, on your knees, or a mudra of your choice. And continuing with deep inhales through the nose and deep exhales through the nose, arriving in our practice, grounding, feeling the sit bones making contact with the earth or your mat, centering, letting go of anything that's happened today, yesterday, letting go of anything that's on your list of things to do, focusing on the breath, staying present, maybe setting an intention for the practice, gratitude, compassion, staying in the moment, whatever it is to you, whatever you need to work on today. Turning your attention inwards and spending the next few moments focusing on your breath, arriving in your practice. And coming back to awareness, gently opening your eyes. We'll begin our practice with some neck rolls, warming up our neck. On the exhale, chin to chest, right ear to right shoulder. And then as you come back to look up, make sure you're leaving a space in the back of your neck between your neck and your shoulders, not overextending. Left ear to left shoulder and chin to chest. And one more time, inhaling on the first half of the rotation. Exhaling on the second half of the rotation. And again, doing these neck rolls to the cadence of your own breath. Next time your chin comes to your chest, reversing directions. Left ear to left shoulder, gently looking up, maybe where the ceiling meets the wall if you're inside. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. And inhaling one more time around, inhaling on the first half. And exhaling on the second half of the rotation. Chin to chest and head to neutral. And continuing our warm-ups, raising your arms to the sky. Arms are straight, spine is long, back is straight. Shoulders in their sockets. We're getting the lengthen through the arms and through the spine. And then bringing the right palm to the mat and leaning over to the right side. Gaze straight ahead, particularly if you have neck issues, or if it feels right, looking up into the raised palm. If it's available, maybe bringing your forearm to the mat for a deeper stretch. But being gentle, we're just warming up, always gentle. Listen to your body. Do what your body needs. What I'm saying is a suggestion, and both arms back to the sky and reversing. Left palm to the mat, leaning over to the left side. So everything I'm going to say today is a suggestion. I'm here to guide you, but you decide. You listen to your body, not your ego. You decide what you need. Take what you need, leave the rest behind. And back to the sky, both arms, and arms by your side. And a seated twist. So arms back to the sky, right fingertips behind you, right elbow is bent, left palm to the outside of the right thigh. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, give yourself a gentle twist, maybe looking over the right shoulder, but to your degree. We're not forcing anything here. We're just bringing some heat to the spine, warming up. A lot of us might have not got out of bed not too long ago. And arms back to the sky. I'll change positions so you can see me. And repeating that on the left side. Arms to the sky, left fingertips to the mat, right palm to the outside of the left thigh. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, relax into the pose. Taking a gentle twist. Inhaling and exhaling. And back to the sky, arms by your side. Today's class is going to be focusing on chest opening. So, having said that, so either palms to the back of the mat, or if it's comfortable, interlacing your fingers and then opening the chest, bringing those shoulder blades together, looking up where the ceiling meets the wall if you're inside, if that feels right. Maybe that's too much. But opening the chest for another couple breaths here and releasing. If you have a prop, removing a prop. I'm going to go from my block to my blanket. So legs out in front. Now again, particularly if you're sitting on something, making sure you have a micro bend in the knees. Always micro bends in the joint, right? All that really means is you're not locking the joint. And then inhale, both arms to the sky, lengthening the spine, shoulders in their sockets, and then hinging forward at the waist, keeping the head in line with the spine, and palms wherever they fall. We're not pushing or pulling here. This is just a gentle forward fold to wake up the body, getting us ready to do the work. Inhaling and exhaling just for a couple breaths here. And both arms back to the sky, by your side, and then swinging your legs around into our first tabletop. So tabletop, hands can be directly underneath your wrists. Knees are directly underneath your hips. If this is too much, you can, for your knees, you can fold your mat over or use a blanket. And if this is too much on your wrists, you can come onto your fists. And then inhaling for our cat cows. Inhale, looking up, tail up, dropping the belly to your cow. Exhale, rounding the back for cat. Inhale to cow. Look up, tail up, belly drops. Exhale to cat, chin to chest, gaze to the belly button. Arching your back like an angry cat. Inhaling to cow. Exhaling to cat. And continuing with the cadence of your own breath. Deep inhales and deep exhales, maybe going faster, maybe going slower, whatever you need today. Maybe getting a little crack in the lower back, which would be glorious. Inhaling and exhaling one more time. And next time you're through center, taking stillness here. And then you can extend your right leg, your left leg, if that's comfortable, or from your knees, lowering down, keeping your elbows in, chin and chest to the mat. In Sphinx pose. So forearms out in front. Your elbows are directly underneath your shoulders. Glutes are engaged, or for less sensation, letting your forearms go forward for more sensation. Bringing your elbows and your forearms closer to your body, engaging the glutes, just looking straight ahead here, feeling a stretch in the lower back. Should be a nice stretch. Any strain, back off, inhaling and exhaling, and letting the elbows go wide. So chin to your hands or your forehead, And then gently, you could take windshield wipers just with your hips if it feels appropriate for you. Coming to stillness, palms underneath your shoulders, pushing up through tabletop, knees wide on the mat, big toes together, sitting back into an extended child's pose, arms out in front, big toes are together, sitting back to your degree. If this doesn't, and you can bring your head to a block or the mat. Now, if this doesn't feel right, try puppy dog. So knees are not wide, hips are over the knees, and just bringing down to your degree. Maybe forehead comes to the mat, maybe it doesn't, maybe using a block. Whatever feels good. So if you're in child's pose or puppy, this is our home base. Great place to come anytime you need a break. Some pose just doesn't feel right. Great place to come more if you need a break. And coming back to tabletop. Staying here, or option to curl your toes underneath, sending your hips to the sky for our first downward facing dog. My hands are shoulder width apart, feet hip width distance apart. Staying here, sit bones to the sky, or maybe pedaling your dog. Right and left, bringing some heat into the legs, the calves, coming to stillness, if you like, moving those heels towards the mat to your degree. Nice, healthy stretch feeling, never ever strain. Hip, sit bones to the sky, and then looking up between your palms and taking baby steps forward into a forward fold. So again, maybe your hands are coming to a block. Maybe you can get your fingertips to the mat. Maybe you can't. It's all good. Bend in the knees, either a little or a lot, and taking a few breaths here. Inhale, halfway lift, palms to shins or thighs. So back is straight. Sit bones towards the back of the room, and then crown of the head towards the front of the room. Imagine getting lengthened through the spine, space in between the vertebrae. Head is aligned with the spine. Don't have your, not up straining, just align with your spine, taking a few breaths here. And then bending your knees a lot into dangling pose or ragdoll. So maybe resting your torso on your thighs. Maybe taking hand to elbow and taking movements to the right and left. Letting gravity do the work here. Just letting your upper body dangle. Wonder why they call it dangling pose. Also known as ragdoll. Maybe shaking your head yes, shaking your head no, whatever feels good here. Feeling some opening in the lower back. Coming to stillness, bending your knees a lot. Palms on your thighs and pushing yourself up to a standing position. So at the top of your mat, Tadasana or mountain pose as I straighten out my mat. So from mountain, just maybe taking just some gentle rocking movements, getting the balance, feeling the weight in the four corners of your feet. And then once you find that, your feet are about hip width distance apart, right? But it can be whatever feels good. And then once you kind of find your grounding, find where your weight is distributed evenly, coming to stillness, and lining everything up. My knees are over ankles, hips are over my knees. I'm engaging my quads a little bit. I'm engaging my perineum floor about 50%. Engaging your mula bandha, which is your root lock. And then engaging your Adhyana Bandha, bringing your navel towards your belly button about 50%. So these are our locks. So anytime we're moving in yoga, basically engaging the abdominal girdle. And shoulders are directly over the hips. Inhale, bring shoulders up to the ears, back and down. And we'll start with our half sun salutations. So inhale, raising your arms to the sky. Gazes straight ahead, palms apart. Exhale, folding forward over bent knees. Inhale, halfway lift, spine is straight, palms to shins or thighs. Exhale, fold forward over bent knees. Inhale, pushing up, raising your arms to the sky, palms apart, gaze straight ahead. Exhale, mountain. Okay, adding to that. Inhale, raising your arms to the sky, palms are apart, gaze is straight ahead, or, if it's appropriate for you, looking up to join palms. Maybe taking a baby back bend if it feels right, if you're warm enough. Exhale, palms to heart center. Forward fold, at least a micro bend in the knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Back is straight, palms to shin or thighs. Inhale, bending your legs, pushing yourself up like a squat, raising your arms to the sky, gaze straight ahead, palms apart, or looking up to join palms, maybe baby back bend. Exhale, mountain. One more time, to your degree. Inhale, palms to the sky, gaze straight ahead, or looking up to join palms, maybe baby back bend. This time, exhale, arms out to the side, swan dive, leading with your chest, micro bend in the knees, palms to the mat, or block to your degree. Inhale, halfway lift, spine is straight. Exhale, fold, knees are bent, and reverse your swan dive, pushing up with your legs. Inhaling, looking straight ahead, palms apart, or into the raised palms, maybe baby back bend. Exhale, mountain. Okay. So stepping back with your right or left foot so you face me or your favorite direction. Arms out to the side. Ankles generally underneath your wrists, directly underneath your wrists. Toes are in about 5 degrees. And from here, right foot 90 degrees, back foot in 5 degrees, back hand onto the back hip, and then hinging forward for our triangle pose, Utthita Trikonasana. My palm to the shin, a block, or if it's available, hooking the big toe. Pull the back hip open, aligning the shoulders, staying here, or option to raise the back arm to the sky. Gaze straight ahead or into the raised palm for 5 breaths. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale all the way up. And from here, turning your toes towards me, hands on the hips. So feet are still underneath the wrists if your arms are extended. Palms to your hips. Inhale, open the chest. Bring the shoulder blades together. Nice stretch into the lower back. Exhale, fold forward. Palms to the mat or block. So we're in our halfway lift where my spine is straight. Fingertips are on the mat. Sit bones to the back of the room. Crown to the head towards the front of the room. Feeling lengthened through the spine. Now with a straight back. Exhaling, relaxing into the pose. Maybe your palms come to the mat. Maybe they don't. Palms can be to a block. And bringing the crown of your head towards the mat for Prasarita Padottanasana or wide leg forward fold. And feeling a nice stretch through the lower back and the inner thighs. And breathing. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale, halfway lift. Spine is straight. Palms to your hips, coming all the way up. And arms out to the side again. Ankles generally underneath. And then left foot 90 degrees, back foot 5 degrees. Back palm to the back hip and then hinging forward to the left side, palms to your shin, a block, or hooking the big toe if it's available. Pulling open the back hip, staying here, or option to raise that back arm to the sky. Gaze straight ahead or into the raised palm. And breathing here. Triangle pose or Utthita Trikonasana on the left side. Nice stretch through the front leg. Nice opening through the right side. So if you were up against the wall, the idea is both shoulder blades and the hips and the top arm would be making contact with the wall. So everything in one plane. So if that means you need to come up a little bit, that's better. Inhaling and exhaling, and inhaling all the way back up. Arm shoulder width, arm shoulder level. Turn your toes towards me. Palms to your hips. This time, option to interlace the fingers behind you or hand to elbow or no bind. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, fold forward, bringing the crown of your head towards the mat and your hands towards me. So in addition to the nice back and inner thigh stretch, now a nice stretch into the shoulders. Even though we're inverted, this is technically a chest opener. And breathing, deep inhales and deep exhales. And inhaling all the way up and stepping to the top of your mat where we will take a flow. So you can meet me in a tabletop position or come with me for the flow. So inhaling, raising arms to the sky, looking straight ahead, palms apart, or into the joined palms, baby back bend, palms through heart center, into a forward fold, micro bend on the knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, palms to the mat. Stepping back right or left into a tabletop. And from table, lowering down onto your chest. And we'll repeat Sphinx pose. So working the lower back here. Inhaling and exhaling. See how it feels. Again, for less sensation, elbows go forward. For more, towards your chest. Engaging the glutes to keep the lower back safe. And releasing, chin to the mat, palms underneath your shoulders, coming back to a tabletop. And from table, right leg forward. We're on your back knee. And again, folding the mat over, taking a blanket for if this is too hard on your knees. Coming up to palms on your right thigh. And then you can inch your right leg forward, keeping the right knee over the right ankle, opening up the left hip flexor, staying here, or raising your arms to the sky, feeling a little more sensation into the lower back and the left hip flexor, or looking up to join palms. And maybe, if you're warm enough, maybe baby back bend, or not. See how it feels. You can try and back off. This is your practice. And palms to heart center. Left palm to a block or the mat, raising the right palm to the sky for a twist. Gaze can be straight ahead or into that raised palm. If you have neck issues, straight ahead is great. It's all what you need. Inhaling and exhaling. And coming out to tabletop, staying in table, or curl your toes under, hips to the sky for a downward facing dog, getting a nice stretch to the spine. I'm pushing into the back of my knuckles, taking the weight out of your wrists, heels towards the mat to your degree, where it feels good stretched, never strain. Hip bones to the sky, that nice inverted V. And a few breaths here, lengthening through the spine. Ears align with the biceps. And on the next inhale, step the left foot in between the palms, back knee onto the mat, coming up to your lunge on the left side, low lunge. And maybe, if it feels right, moving the left foot forward and then keeping the left knee over the left ankle, opening up the right hip flexor. Stay here, or option, raise your arms to the sky, and for more sensation, looking up to join palms. That actually, for me, doesn't feel great in my lower back this morning, so I'm going back to palms apart, gaze straight ahead. We're all different on every day. A lot of it has to do with, what you did yesterday. Listen to your body, take what you need. Your body's a lot smarter than your yoga teacher. Promise you that. And right palm to the mat or a block, raising the left arm to the sky, gaze straight ahead, or looking up to the raised palm for a few breaths here. Inhaling and exhaling. And both palms to the mat, coming back to tabletop, or if it's appropriate for you, curling your toes under for downward facing dog. And stepping through with your right or left and coming into a seated position, Dandasana or staff pose. Hands are right by my hips and making your spine as straight as can be. And then bending your knees, hands underneath your knees, and then lowering down into a seated position, into a lying position, and bridge pose. So for bridge pose, knees are bent, feet are flat on the mat, ankles underneath the knees, palms by my side, palms by your side. On the inhale, send your hips to the sky. Maybe move your legs back, keeping your ankles underneath your knees, pushing your chest up with your thighs, and breathing. Inhale and exhale. This is a back bend. It's a nice back bend. Should feel good. Again, how far you push with your thighs regulates the sensation you feel. For another 3, 2, and 1. And gently lowering your hips to the mat, bringing your knees into your chest, grabbing underneath your knees, and making circles on the ceiling, giving your lower back, a glorious massage. Should feel good. Helping to break up the fascia in your lower back and reversing directions. And arms out to the side, knees are still over your chest, and allowing your knees to fall to the right. Gaze is over the extended left arm. But as you bring your knees over, keeping your left shoulder blade on the mat. And a few breaths here. Knees back to center, and let them fall to the left side. Gaze over the extended right arm, and keeping the right shoulder blades on the mat. You could, we're not going to be here too terribly long, put a block under the knees for something more restorative, or not. If you don't have a block, you could use a fist. And back to center, and then let your legs go long on the mat. Inhale. Their back massage. Rolling, maybe side to side, maybe making circles, whatever feels good. And we'll take a short shavasana before our pranayama. So extending your legs on the mat, heels are wide, arms ideally by your side, palms up, but whatever works for you. Option is, particularly if you have lower back strain, is to bend your knees. Your feet are wide on the mat and let the knees come together. That's a nice way to take any pressure out of the lower back. Or if you have a couch cushion or a pillow underneath your knees, and then gently closing your eyes, returning to normal breathing, relaxing head to toe. Eyes are gently closed, soft gaze, or staring a spot on the ceiling is a great idea. And turning your attention inward for the next minute or so, letting any thoughts go and enjoying your relaxation. And bringing awareness back to your body, taking small movements with your fingers and toes, your hands and feet, maybe moving your head from side to side. With a deep, deep, deep inhale, extending your arms over your head, pointing your toes into a full body stretch. And bring your arms back by your side. So our pranayama for this morning will be from this lying shavasana position, Dirga Pranayama, or three-part breathing, or also known as belly breathing. So I invite you to bring your hands over your belly button. And on the next inhale, breathe into the belly, feel the belly rise. Exhale, relax the belly. Inhale, breath into the belly. Exhale, relax the belly. Option to bring your hands along your rib cage. Inhale, breath into the belly, and then feel the breath coming up into the chest. Rib cage expands, sternum rises. Exhale, relax the chest, relax the belly. Inhale, belly, chest. Exhale, chest, belly. And now option to bring your fingertips just above your collarbone. On the next inhale, feel the breath come into the belly, up into the chest, and then just into the bottom of the shoulder regions. Feel that small movement. Exhale, relax the shoulders, relax the chest, relax the belly. Inhale, belly, chest, shoulders. Exhale, shoulders, chest, belly. Returning your palms, your arms along your side. Turning your attention inward and continue this breathing pattern for the next few moments on your own. And bringing your body back to awareness. Again, taking small movements with maybe your fingers and toes, hands and feet, moving your head from side to side with the deepest, most ginormous inhale of the day, extending your arms over your head, pointing your toes. Exhale, bring your knees into chest, giving yourself one more hug to the knees. And when you're ready, rolling over to your right or left side and coming up and joining me in a comfortable seated position. And so we will move into our meditation. So this is a sound meditation. And the purpose of the meditation is to help train our brains to be able to focus as well as eliminate. So we can, anytime we do a meditation, no matter what, it's impossible to have complete silence. So how do we train our brains to be able to either focus on one sound and block everything else out, or maybe block them all out? And again, it's a practice, right? So that's the purpose of today's meditation. So coming into a comfortable seated position once again, gently closing your eyes, taking a soft gaze, or staring at a point that doesn't move. Deep inhales through the nose and deep exhales through the nose. Relax your forehead. Relax your jaw. Separate your teeth. Relax the front of your throat. Relax your shoulders. Hands can be comfortably in your lap, on your knees, a mudra of your choice, or wherever feels comfortable. And so, relaxing your whole body, take in another deep inhale. And a deep exhale, let it out slowly. Another deep breath in. And another deep breath out. One more time. Deep breath in to your cadence, to your degree. And gently releasing the entire breath. Now, continuing your breathing, and let that rhythmic breathing kind of just continue normally, right? Normal breath, your body knows how to breathe. And now start by shifting your attention to sounds. So take a survey of your immediate environment. If you're outside, maybe just the immediate surrounding 20 meters or so. If you're inside, the sounds in the room that you're in. And so see how many sounds you can observe in this near distance, right? Maybe, particularly if you're in a room, maybe there's a sound you've never heard before in that room. But just focus, let the mind focus, and just, it's an inventory, right? Don't interrogate the sounds, just observe. Just they're there, they just are. Whatever they are, just observe them. You don't even need to count them. Just be aware of what's going on from a sound perspective in your immediate environment. Take the next few moments, turn your attention inward, and with curiosity, observe these sounds. And now, maybe go a little further away. If you're inside, maybe it's other sounds in other rooms in the house or the apartment building. Just seek out to observe those more distant sounds. We'll call this an intermediate distance. If you're outside, maybe a couple 100 meters. What sounds are there? You don't have to count them, but just notice each individual sound. And once you notice the sound, move on. Just observe, don't interrogate it. And take the next few moments to observe these sounds at an intermediate distance. And now moving on. Going really as far as you can to the furthest, most distant sounds, starting with the strongest. And once you hear that one, can you hear one further and further away? Maybe it's a bird, maybe it's a dog, um, maybe it's traffic way far away. But just this is the concentration here. So what is the furthest distant sound that you can hear? And again, as many as you can. If you can't, that's okay too. Just the silence is an observation. So take a few moments, turn your attention inward, and interrogate, observe with curiosity the most distant sounds you can hear. And now, using all these sounds that you've heard and maintaining distance, one by one with these distance, bring these sounds back to you from far away, one at a time, intermediate to up close, and then maybe even any sounds that might be going on in your body. And when you're all the way back to your body, starting to take small movements, maybe moving your head, maybe taking some torso circles, moving your hips, fingers, toes, whatever feels good as you might have tightened up in your meditation. And then with your eyes remaining closed if they were closed, bringing your palms together and rubbing your palms, generating some heat. And again, if your eyes were closed, maintaining closed, and then putting your palms over your eyes, feeling the warmth, and then in the darkness, opening your eyes, and then slowly spreading your fingers, coming back, and returning your hands to your lap or your knees when you're ready. And we'll conclude our practice this morning with one more deep breath together. Deep inhale, looking up to join palms, and deep exhale, palms to heart center. Back of your thumbs to your sternum, and we'll end with our greeting of Namaste. Namaste.